Let's briefly speak on the fact that Igbo are Hebrews. Now, when we begin to look at the word Igbo, they are also called Hebo, Heebo. Historically, this was thought to be a corruption of the word Hebrew, sharing the same root as Eber, which is going to be found, because I have some Igbo young ladies in my comments who do not know that they are Igbo. So if they come to my page, I really hope they see this. In Genesis 10, unto Shem. That word Shem right there means afro. What's another word for afro? Negra. Okay, the root NGR in Hebrew means carpenter. In Spanish, Portuguese languages, it means black. Nagar is also going to be in Mesopotamia, where the Asiatics come from. So the root NGR is going to denote black Sumerians, Afro-Asiatic people. Shem, whose name means Semitic, is literally Afro-Asiatic. So Afro, another word for Afro, would be Niger. Asiatic would be the Congo, because Asiatic peoples are seen leaving the Congo basin. You can even look at the Khoisan people. Those are Asiatic people, Afro-Asiatic people, come out of Shem. Another word for Afro-Asiatic is Niger, Congo. So Shem is the father of the children of Eber. E-B-E-R. You remove the R, that's Ebo, Hebo. And out of Eber is where the word Hebrew comes from. Let's see. Eber means to pass or to cross over. This is being specific to when these people begin to cross over from one side of the Euphrates rivers to the other. So when you begin to see that Eber is strongly related to the word Hebrew, and the term for Hebrew is Iberi, Iberi. So you see the linguistics markers lining up. Hebrew, Eber, Iberi, Igbo. Because you see the IBE without the RI, because the reverse root, no, the root of that BR is going to also be the root of Hiberu. That BRI, we're going to see it. And the Hiberu are who the Hebrews were called when they was leaving Mesopotamia. This is in the 2nd millennium BC, in the time of Abraham. In 2181 BC, there was a famine. This is found in Genesis, the 12th chapter. Okay? The precise relationship between the Hiberu and the biblical Hebrews, they try to say it's up for debate, but it's not. I've walked this out plenty of times. When we begin to look at the root of Ipiru, you see the APIRU, that root, PRU. What does that say right there? Literally in Hebrew, that would say Peru. And we'll get into that one day. I've gotten into that before. But when you begin to look at the root of the PR, we will see that this is going to take us back to Para. And Para is going to literally be the word for Pharaoh in Middle Egyptian. CPERAA means Pharaoh. This is the root of Ipiru. And that reverse root let's get this. The word for evening, E-R-E-B. Remember when I told you to hold on to that reverse root of Hebrew or Hyperu? This is going to take us to the meaning for day, but look, this comes out of Arab. Arab is going to be the reverse root of Eber, and they are linguistically related. This is to darken, to be dusky, but this is also in relationship to the complexion of Arab people groups. And it's essential to know that a sheikh in Arabic literally is an elder or an older man or a tribal chief, a family or patriarch. And this is essential because in 2nd millennial BC, we see Abraham is an older man crossing from one side of the Euphrates River to the other, going down into ancient Egypt, being identified as a Hebrew, as a Hebrew, right? Making him Afro-Asiatic. Therefore, we should find some Afro-Asiatic DNA in Egypt around the 2nd century that has to do with Afro-Asiatic Niger-Congo people groups. But let's look a little bit more into the Igbo people. Now, it's essential to know that the Igbos say that they come from a predecessor by the name of Eri. Let's see if it's anybody by the name of Eri in the Bible. Eri is the 5th son of Gad, who is the grandson of Jacob. And his clan is called the Eriites clan, the watchful, the vigilant. And they accompanied Jacob and his family into Egypt. Genesis 46 and 16. So, if the Igbos come from Eri, then the Igbo DNA should be found in between the 1800 to the 1200 BC. And even before then, but we're going to say the 1800s, just based off of him being Jacob's grandson. So let's see. We're going to see what is the main Igbo haplogroup, and we're going to see if it's found in Egypt or anywhere in the Bible. Okay, so you see right here how it mentions the ancient coasons when it says some Igbo people have a genetic connection to the ancient coasons. Did I not say that the ancient coasons are your original Afro-Asiatic? Therefore, the word Niger, Congo already are going to mean Afro-Asiatic. And so it shows that the Igbo shows DNA genetics with other West African speaking people such as the Yoruba. The Yoruba, if you add an L or a Lamad to that in Hebrew, you are going to get Yoruba Bel. And Yoruba Bel is Gideon, and Gideon is from the tribe of Manasseh. We also say Eshan, and we already know that Aswan, let's see, where is it? Aswan is going to be located in Egypt. And this is one of the main places that the Israelites were known to be. The scene. And so this would also be because the coasons, S-I-A-N, this is the same suffix. So it's an ancient Egyptian city at the southern end, and it's spoken about in the Old Testament, Ezekiel 29 and 10, Ezekiel 30 and 6 and 16. Okay? So it begins to say that the land of Aswan, indicating a global gathering of people into the kingdom of God. We also have to know that in the Bible that Eshan is also going to be known as one of the cities assigned to the tribe of Judah. You see that? You line it up. This is biblical history. The Bible took place in Africa. Like, what are we really talking about? So when we begin to look at the Igbo DNA, it's essential to know that they have one female ancestor. And so you will begin to say E1B1 A1M2. So the roots of this DNA is going to be E1B1, okay? And then it splits between the E1B1A and the E1B1B. Very, very, very essential to know this. So let's begin to see, where does this DNA lead? So it begins to say, I had an article pulled up for this. Here we go. So this haplogroup EM2 is found in West Africa, Central Africa, South Africa, North Africa, and the Middle East. So we know the Middle East does not exist, followed by West Asia. So this is going to be primarily distributed within Africa, and then followed by West Asia in its highest population. Let's see, what is West Asia even? And then those are Igbo words right there, lining up with the Hebrew. Let's see, where is West Asia? You don't say. So West Asia is going to be Anatolia, the Arabian Peninsula, Iran, and Mesopotamia. Is this not the same place where Abraham the Hebrew comes from, and the Igbo DNA is found in these places? The Sinai Peninsula, that's where the Bible is saying, the Levant, Cyprus, south of the Caucasus, Egypt, and then the man-made built Suez blocking off Europe. This DNA goes all the way throughout the Mediterranean. The term the Middle East was developed in, I believe, like 1943 or 1923, something like that. West Asia is a created term, okay? The Middle East is a created term. So we see that this haplogroup is found in all the places that the Israelites are found in. And it was originally located in 5000 BC, going back to when the Sahara was still a rainforest. And that's when the split between the E1B1A and the E1B1B began to take place. So it says that right there. Let's begin to see that the E1B1A DNA exists at 60% in Central Africa, and it's essential to know that 60% of African Americans have at least one Igbo ancestor, and this DNA exists at 80% in West Africa. So tell me, why is this DNA found traced back to the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt? The 18th dynasty is 1550 BC to 1292 BC. And this indeed would line up to when Jacob would have a grandson by the name of Eri. Because based on my math, Jacob and Esau was born in 2096 BC. And my math is some really good math. I'm going to just tell you that. And in 1550 BC, This is where you're going to find the Ebers papyrus, or the Hebrews papyrus. And you will also see in 1550 BC the name Yassakar or Issachar in ancient Egypt. These are things that you can all look up. It's undeniable that Igbos are Hebrews. And this was before the birth of Moses in 1492 BC. You will also begin to see the Caphtor, Caphtor script, who are known to be the ancient Minoans. Their script is seen in ancient Egypt in 1550 BC. Like, I can go on because there's a lot more evidence out there. The Hebrews are Hebrews.